right? Be licensed. Get your license to carry in whatever state you're in, if you need that or not. Be specialized trained. Get a taser. And sometimes they have those flashlight tasers. You said you had one. You said you call it what?
Pinky.
Shout out to Pinky. You can find those. Where can you find those at?
Cabela's, Walmart, Amazon, almost anywhere.
Right. And it literally looks like a flashlight, but it's a taser at the bottom part of it. And if you touch the top, you will get shot. Yeah. Pepper spray is another one.
Oh, no.
Mace. Ugh. I know. Pepper spray is messy, and it gets everywhere, so you better close your own eyes. Right. You better close your own eyes.
Yeah.
When you go just blindly spray everybody. But a lot of times you don't even have, that's why I said being hyper vigilant and aware, because you have to get to those things. You have to get to a gun. You have to get to mace.
I'm
you
so
have to
paranoid. I'll walk, if I got walking outside with Pinky, my hand's on Pinky. If it's dark and I know I'm by myself, because I'm so annoyed about that, I ain't got time.
See, so just nervous. So just nervous and being anxious or whatever.
Yeah, I do not have time.
Yeah. Okay. So, and that's good. So arm yourself. Even the self-defense classes, fight, kick, scream. Fight, kick, scream. A lot of times these folks are jumping out of the vans and injecting you with something. Fight, kick, scream until you are passed out. So someone knows. Because you might have minutes, seconds. You don't know what it is.
Stop, drop, and roll, too.
Right. I promise you. Just start acting crazy.
Yeah.
Scratching, kicking, everything, right? Completely. I would literally lose my mind. Also, one more thing. This is another way that they're also getting folks. Is the windshield. So sometimes they'll have like these cards on the windshield, and it'll be laced. It'll be laced with something. Yeah, so a lot of times we'll turn around and have that. Okay, there we go. Maybe folks can hear us a little better. And it'll be laced with something. It'll be laced with a flyer. It will be laced with some type of drug. And then they're literally just sitting back waiting to see who touches this thing so they can come and abduct you. I get a little bit of feedback. I know. There we go. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. Had to turn around and fix fix a technical issue. Make sure that we can hear it on the airwaves and on Facebook Live. Thank you. All right. So this is to heighten awareness and to make sure that everybody is vigilant and understands that this is a real issue that we need to make sure that we are continuously discussing in our communities. To continue this conversation, I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsor real quick, and we're going to go ahead and bring on Dr. Darlene M. Davis as well. Let me just tell you a little bit about her before we shout out our sponsors. Dr. Darlene M. Davis is an HBCU grad. She's a mentor, a parent, an advocate, and she's an aggravator of complacency. I really love that. An aggravator of complacency, right? What is normal? I love that. She's also a licensed clinical psychologist and a certified advanced alcohol and drug counselor with over 15 years of clinical mental health experience. She's offering vital individual and group clinical services to her community. Her mission is to increase awareness to psychological information and services and provide culturally adaptive, evidence-based treatment to those seeking emotional and mental health services. So we're going to go ahead and bring her on the line in just a second, right after we shout out our sponsors. First sponsor is Dope Designs by Nanny, right? You can find her at www.dopedesignsbynanny.com. You can check her out. She's specializing in all custom needs, currently having a 50% off flash sale, literally. And she does a lot of my printing for our business as well. She's really, really good. So currently having the 50% flash off sale, and you just have to use the code 24flash. Head over to www.dopedesignsbynanny.com. She did this shirt and a lot of the other Begin to Talk shirts that I have as well in order to shop. All right. Another one is Blood Moon Jewelry, www.bloodmoonjewelry.com. She's a teologist, has a lot of different Blood Moon jewelry, and is there for your herbal and energetic needs. Again, it's brought to you by Begin to Talk LLC. We're a mental health counseling, personal life coaching, and business consulting agency, and we are helping just normalize conversations, and that's another reason why we have this radio show, Begin to Talk. So thank you, and shout out to our sponsors. We're going to go ahead and bring on Dr. Darlene M. Davis. Let's see. Take her off of hold. All right. Darlene?
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Let me see if I can turn this up. Make sure that our viewers on our Facebook and throughout the airwaves can also hear you. Go ahead and talk for me.
Just introduce myself, or have we started?
Okay, there we go. I'm just making sure that your voice and everybody can hear you. I see we got it.
Okay, awesome.
All right. No, thank you so much, Dr. Davis, for joining in today. And I did forget to say this, but we can find you at www.drdarlenemdavis.com. Is that right?
That is absolutely correct.
All right. Thank you so much for joining today. I really, really appreciate it. I know for everybody who is just joining, we're talking about human sex trafficking. We're talking about human trafficking and appreciation of Black bodies in general, right? I know that, and I know with Dr. Davis, you have some expertise as far as the vulnerable populations and understanding those.
Yes, that is correct. I have been heavily trained in severe mental illness as well as substance use, and along the lines of this conversation, one of the most important aspects of working with this population, or even understanding the concepts of the experiences of those who are human trafficked as well as sex trafficked, it comes along with the vulnerability, the victimization, and the traumatization, right? So we're looking at individuals, if, this can't even imagine what it means to, one, be abducted, and then two, what we are learning about what the experience is of being human trafficked, dealing with substance abuse, being physically and sexually assaulted, bullied, all control taken from you. So just the thought of even discussing that is traumatic. So it's just really just so important that we're having this conversation, especially for African American women.
Yes. And understanding that abductors are not, the stereotypical character that's displayed in the media, right? Like we see the pimp, right? We see the pimp. We see, the character, the characterized person that's on there, the stereotypical stigma that comes with human sex trafficking, and that is not it. When we were at that human sex trafficking conference, girl, I saw it was, as far as abductors are concerned, there were women and men ranging from the youngest ages to really, really old as far as abductors are concerned, right? And I used to actually counsel women anywhere from the age of 18 to 65, right, on this particular topic as well. So there is no age range, there is no discrimination when it comes to human sex trafficking. You agree?
Absolutely agree. And even thinking about going along the lines of what you said before about we have this idea, this portrayal of what this experience looks like.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the stories you described in the Target parking lot.
Yeah.
You had women sitting outside. So we're so used to the creepy van, right?
Yeah.
The molester van, right?
Right.
We're used to that dynamic. So when we see somebody drive up in, a typical looking four-door car, we're none the wiser. Or we see a woman coming out, and we're, she wants to rub oil on my hands.
Right.
Like, we're thinking nothing of it.
Right.
But now, I mean, young women are being recruited, older women are being recruited. I mean, that's how they get some of these kids.
Yeah.
You know, you talk to your daughter, but don't go meet men. Well, some of these girls are recruiting for some of these sex traffickers. So, I mean, there's just, it's really just, it's an interesting experience.
Yes.
But I also like to add that, you know, we're sitting here talking about people we don't know.
Right.
We're the abductor, the weird person in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I think an additional part of this conversation, which we probably won't have enough time to get into,
mm-hmm.
but I definitely think it's worthy to put across the air,
mm-hmm.
is that human trafficking can start out as a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as I'm dating somebody or I'm
mm-hmm.
talking to somebody, and then you start noticing your friend ain't nowhere to be found.
Yes.
And, you know, their boyfriend or friend or whatever it is super controlling.
Yes.
You start scratching your head like, something ain't right about this.
Right.
And that person starts disappearing, and they start acting really weird, and they start showing up with bruises. And so you see this whole, and all you're thinking is, oh, you know, maybe, you know, they got somebody who beat on them a little bit of domestic violence.
Yeah.
And what you don't know is that was the foundation for this person. It's, again, we thinking just a regular old pimp or person out. No, they done moved them from here to Atlanta, driving them to different cities, and, you know, selling their bodies, and they just completely lost control. So I think that's the aspect of it, too, for us to pay attention to.
Yes, yes.
Especially now that, you know, the holidays are coming up, and
mm-hmm.
people may or may not show up to the holiday, you know, Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner, and you're looking at your people, and you're scratching your head like, something ain't right about this.
Right.
Be mindful of that, too. Right?
Exactly. And you know what? That really brought up something else for me. When I was in this past early April, when I was in Baltimore, Maryland for the Human Sex Trafficking Conference, there is a house up there, or I don't know if it's in operation now, but there was a house up there in a program called Hannah's Hope. And, you know, shout out to Hannah's Hope in Baltimore, Maryland. They were doing some really, really good work there. But Hannah's Hope was about a lady, literally a 15-year-old girl. I do believe she was 15, when she just one day met a smooth talker, right? And in meeting this smooth talker, she literally, and here's the thing, Hannah, and this is the thing that's very good or very important to illustrate. Hannah came from a very normal background, very stable. Her father was a pastor, the current pastor of the church. She was doing really well in school, right? Came from not necessarily a very large family, but came from a loving community. Everybody knew who she was. This girl was being human trafficked and sent home every single night. And her parents, no one knew nor understood, you know, that this was even going on right underneath their nose, right? So even after they pulled her away from this, by the time they pulled her and got, you know, she was able to get away from her trafficker, she was able to get away from that type of situation, she still had a dual diagnosis, right? She had substance abuse that she is now dealing with because she was using that to numb her pain. So she ended up dying at 19. I think it was it was 19 years old. She ended up dying a couple of years after being delivered from her trafficker and she ended up dying from an overdose, right? Mm-hmm. So even after her life was stolen from her and even after she gained that back, right? Even after she was delivered from that situation, she still had all this other,
the thoughts in the back of her mind.
Right, all the residual trauma to deal with.
Yeah.
So, you know, had that residual trauma is real, you know, and, you know, so shout out to Hannah's Hope, because that was a program, I believe, that ended up getting shut down by next door neighbors and not liking, you know, the fact that they were taking in folks. But honestly, that's powerful. It's the regular girl, a preacher's kid, right?
And that goes to your point of this idea of what we hold in our head about who's deserving of this experience, or
yes.
who should we be paying attention to.
Yes.
And what I hear you saying is that, again, there is no discernment. Like, there's no distinction. I mean, everybody's getting taken. So